Hello and welcome back to Helldivers 2 Loadout Roulette. Today's loadout is the SG-8P Punisher Plasma, the Saber, and Thermite Grenades. So, honestly, a pretty solid build. Secondary could be better, but it's a melee weapon, it's infinite ammo. I can't really complain there. And our armor is the correct officer. So, resistance to chest damage, resist explosive, and don't take bleed damage. Not the best, but it should do something useful. Went with the Parade Commander helmet because it goes with the whole cop outfit, I think, and then Miranda's Legacy because it's literally part of the set. And it's the most thematic, I think. The police-themed sets, I don't think you can really deviate a lot with, otherwise they start to look really weird. But we are up against the Illuminate, so I will see you in the mission. Okay, so, oh, that's not good. So we have orbital smoke, orbital gas. I'm actually going to use the orbital gas right here. Okay, they're gone. I'll take that. Machine gun and ballistic shield, which the ballistic shield should work pretty well with the shield. I wish I had a turret of some sort, just to help pick these guys off, but take what I can get here. Really do have to crank this to max RPM, I guess. Yeah, if you haven't been following some of the news lately, we have a bunch of stuff going on with the automatons. More or less, they're making like a Death Star, and we gotta stop them. It's not that amazing. Everything I've heard from like data mines is it's more or less like we're gonna have a mission that involves us having to man one of the big planetary defense cannons and shoot down ships and stuff like that. It's gonna be pretty straightforward, kind of just a slightly altered copy pastorino of what we had with the Illuminate. I'm not gonna complain entirely, just because new missions or new stuff is new stuff. We kinda need new stuff. That said, the talk about like a Death Star weapon, I'm a little concerned, just because if it is full-on Death Star blows up planets type beat, I don't think we can afford to keep losing planets with how few there are in this game. We just don't have enough to really sit around and be like, oh yeah, you know, they can get blown up, it'll add, you know, lore and flavor to the setting. Nah, it just kinda sucks. Yeah, I accidentally jebaited him into that. There was not a whole lot I could do, sadly. There's also talk of a automaton lieutenant, which Arrowhead's like, oh, this is the first time we're gonna have an actual boss. And I'm like, we're not counting the Hive Lord here. I mean, I get it, that was more an environmental hazard, but I do think it's kind of dumb to not acknowledge what it is, because it was a boss. And then everything mentioned about it says it's gonna have, like, rockets, flamethrowers, machine guns, and chainsaws at the same time, and I'm like, what the hell are these fights supposed to look like? Because this just sounds like it'll be a big annoyance. Because the whole time you're going to be sitting here trying to find a range that you can fight it at. And every range is going to be like, no, and just hit you with something else. And I don't think you can really... I don't think you can get away with doing like a traditional boss fight design. You can't be like, oh, this guy holds aggro. Well, how? Ouch, that shit hurted. But how do you hold aggro? You're, once again, tying back to what I had said before, the grunt fiction design philosophy, you die too fast, so you can't be like, oh, I'll draw a couple hits and tank enemies. Oh, and you know it's not just gonna be him running solo. You're gonna have a bunch of garbage, you're gonna have a bunch of other stuff going on, and it's all going to play into fighting you. God forbid there's Warwalkers. Because if they show up, then you're going to have to deal with that, and that's annoying as can be. Wow, we have not done, like, anything. Yeah, so, I'm skeptical. I've said it before, the planet and the whole galaxy map needs a rework if we're gonna be sitting here blowing up planets and doing whatever else. Because as it stands, it's tedious, I'd say. Especially because I think right now we don't have a major order, but we're kind of trapped on Hellmire for the bug side again. I've seen so many people who are just like, I'm tired of bugs. Just because we've been trapped on like the same 3 planets for, I would venture 6 months. We got the expedition into the gloom, and then that went away. Which we, as of recording, we still don't have the rupture strain back. I'm gonna be a pessimist here and say we'll get the rupture strain back, and they're instantly gonna get taken offline within the week because there's still gonna be a miserable fight. Because I don't think Arrowhead even knows what's wrong. Which is a shame. You know, I'd like for them to kind of realize what they're doing wrong with these designs. But I still laugh. They've talked about, like, oh, we don't have plans for Helldivers 3. We're just gonna keep this going. Think, like, They said think RuneScape. I'm like, I would not use RuneScape. I wouldn't invoke the name of RuneScape in this. One, it sets a bad example, simply because people have expectations when it comes to RuneScape. This game, people expect it to have issues, and it's bold to think this engine will last that long. Realistically, I give it a year, maybe year and a half. As much as I love this game, I don't give it a lot of time before it is too difficult to add content, or it reaches a point where stuff takes months to get anything new, simply because everything keeps breaking. It's simply not a viable option these days. And to act like it's not an issue, like the engine isn't a colossal shortcoming in this game, is foolish. I did not realize this was so good at taking down the, like, batteries. Or the capacitor things for that. Once again, I think I've slept a little too much on the Punisher Plasma. And that right there is an issue we see all the time. Is enemies phasing through walls. I've seen people who are like, oh yeah, I started playing, and why are they phasing through walls, through rocks, through all that? And it's like, because their pathing's terrible. Sadly, that is the situation we're in. I'd kill for a thermal. Yeah, we're done with everything here. But yeah, just looping back to the automaton stuff. I'm hoping for the best with it. I just don't know. I think a problem Arrowhead has is the people they have running Joel, since we know Joel isn't an individual, it's just a group making these narrative choices. I think they got too hooked on, like, the Creek. They bought the meme a little too hard, like a lot of people, and they've been trying to recapture that because it had a ton of memes and all that, and nothing new has had that. And I think part of the problem is everything's forced. I think a good chunk of this could be remedied if they kind of eased up, I'd say, and understood that, like, there isn't a story. Like, we can't really be like, oh, this is the story of how we took this planet. It's like, no, this is all dictated by the devs. And that while can be nice because you have that narrative control, it also comes with the problem of you don't have players don't have input. As we've seen with previous major orders, sometimes they've flat out just been like, yeah, we had a counting error, you guys win. That was because they needed us to win. Like the Meridia Black Hole, that would have never reached Super Earth. They would never let it get that far, simply because, what do? At that point, your entire storyline has been derailed. You'd have to, like, bullshit a new story to be like, oh, well, the Super Earth scientists figured out a way to let us go through time or into another universe to get supplies or whatever, or to find a new Super Earth. They would have to come up with something. Yeah, I think there's too many problems from top to bottom, and stuff like this kind of Death Star thing. What is, in the long run, what is this adding? Because you can't tell me we're going to keep having these Death Star events. It's like the the sprayer event we had that introduced the mutated strains of Terminids. We don't use those missions anymore. We don't use those assets. They're just dead. And it kind of sucks. I think rebuilding the systems to allow us to actually run those as maybe an operation on a planet, that would be fun. You know, you don't have the whole thing collapses into a black hole again, but you could make it, you know, democracy. You have a thing players vote on. It's like, hey, what do we do about this location? You have a number of options. They lock or unlock different mission types, and they have varying chances of success, failure, or unexpected side effects. You could use the sprayer. It could absolutely devastate the Terminid population, force it to low resistance or even negative resistance. Planet gets captured. It can mutate them, make them super resistant, turn the location into a nest for a subtype. You could do a lot.
Requesting orbital.
Please stop chasing me.
Found something.
I think there's ways that things could be done. Granted, I don't know how it looks under the hood of this game. My personal assumption, based on everything I've heard, is if you crack this game open, there's more spaghetti than an Italian restaurant. Which doesn't surprise me. Well, these guys know they can, like, start that evacuation without me. Because I'm just trying to get stuff done out here, and there's no need for me to be there. But I'll swing through, that's not a big deal. I will say the build isn't bad. Do wish I had more grenades, but thermites I'm not really using on just random Joe Blow here. Like I said before, I wish I had a sentry gun. The ballistic shield backpack is cool, but I only partially benefit from it when I'm in melee, and I don't really want to go into melee all too often. Also, is anybody else having this bug where we have this like red texture on the ground? I've been having this ever since the like Hive Lord Gloom update, and it's really tiring. Everything I see is just an absolute mess.
Requesting orbital strike. Tagging map, north, 300 meters.
Oh, and as of this recording, so this is the week it comes out, like this video comes out, there hasn't been an announcement for the next war bomb, though I've heard rumblings that it's supposed to be cryo weapons,
Reporting to the front.
which I don't know how I feel about cryo. I think it should come as an option, but okay, I can see pros and cons. Pro, if the lieutenant is vulnerable to it, you could do some cool stuff slowing him. Because in theory, cryo would have two benefits, which would be reducing armor because it's making a target brittle, or slowing / freezing. The downside is if we just get another chemical thrower, I'm gonna lose my damn mind.
Firing gas strike. Reinforcing. Reloading.
Because I just... the fart sprayer was already pretty bad, and adding like a new meh tier stratagem isn't gonna do anybody any favors. Oh, it exploded my shield. Cool. I love waiting on these. Make a decision here, drone. Jesus. You know what? Leave it. Whatever. It can fly around and be a nuisance. But yeah, with chemical weapon or cryo weapons, I'm not really sure what you can do. If we want to go reaching into other games, like Quasimorph has them, and they're just kind of like a damage type. So you can get like a cryo shotgun. You can do... what other ones? There's a couple other cryo weapons, but they're not anything special because they have a deeper armor system and resistance system where they can get away with being like, oh, we're just gonna put this in and you have a use against these factions. You know, you're fighting realware. You can use cryo or poison to absolutely dumpster them. Standard ballistics, you're pretty screwed. I'd like for some really cool use. Because I really don't want this to just be like the Coyote,
What injury?
where the Coyote is a great rifle, but you know, people show they have no faith in Arrowhead for balancing when they're all freaking out like, oh man, don't nerf this, don't nerf this. It shows you how bad the assault rifle category is, that one okay gun makes everybody panic. But I'm not sure. I think
Found something.
a lingering cryo grenade could be cool. I hope they don't do like Destiny did with stasis, and it's like you throw it and it creates a little crystal barrier. While I do think that is cool, I think it would look really dumb in this. If I was going to have something like that, I would have it be like a rapid expanding and hardening foam, kind of like what you see in the finals. I think that would offer, actually that would offer a lot, and that'd be really fun to use.
Rare sample acquired.
I would absolutely run that and just be like, okay, it creates like waist high cover. Maybe it creates something like this size, or maybe a little shorter. Maybe even that. I think this would be fine. And you just work with that. That'd be quite fun to utilize. Yes, you can break enemy pathing. We're getting out ahead of that issue right here. You can break it. But then just make it something where the AI can be like, okay, if it's in the way, smack it. It has static amount of health. It decays over time. Boom, done. Because I don't want it to be something where you can have a team of people progressively just flood the map, and eventually AI just can't function because they can't move. But I want it to be something where you can make some tactical decisions. Because I'd love to be able to toss like 2 here and block this off. I think it'd be really fun. I'd actually really appreciate that in this game. If they want to make us think tactically, give us tactical options. I forgot the game doesn't let you lay down here sometimes. I guess you have to do it on a Monday when you're looking in a certain direction.
Requesting orbital.
ETA T-minus 20 seconds. ETA T-minus 10 seconds. Orbital strike.
I am eager to see what this next war bond is, though. Hopefully it's good. But I'm not sure what you can really do. Like I keep saying, so many systems need reworks to offer a lot more for people.
Orbital inbound.
I was kind of hoping we'd use that smoke to escape. Silly me.
Orbital inbound.
I think we're good to go. I'm glad I had the MG. I feel like this would have been a terrible... See, I think this emote broke. This would have been a terrible run without it. The Punisher works, but I'd rather not rely 100% on it since you're not supposed to rely on your primaries. I'm just hopping in.
Pelican 1 preparing to depart. Shuttle launch in 20 seconds. Reinforcement budget depleted. Extraction complete. Pelican 1 beginning ascent.
But that is all for now. If you enjoyed this episode, make sure to hit the like button, it helps out the channel a lot, and if you haven't already, make sure to hit the subscribe button. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.